Hello and welcome to the Complete Hire Equipment WRFL Round 14 preview. Andrew Wilson along with Pepe Cavalieri. Welcome, Pepe.
Hello, Willow.
Let's get stuck into Rams Division 1. Altona taking on Point Cook. You think the Vikings will be too strong here?
Yeah, I think so, and too much to play for, obviously, top spot. They're a game clear at the moment. Looks like they're pretty likely to stay there too with their run home.
They are. I think the Vikings will be too strong in that one. Big game for Hoppers Crossing taking on Deer Park. Deer Park need to win to keep their double chance hopes alive, and Hoppers Crossing to stay in touch with the top five.
Yeah, they certainly do. Hoppers Crossing, a bit of a contrasting 2 weeks. Obviously, very good win a fortnight ago against Werribee Districts, and then a bit disappointing against Spotswood. Just a slow start got them on a very windy Saturday last week. So massive game for them. It's likely that with St Albans obviously playing Sunshine, he'd expect them to win later in the round as well. That Hoppers are going to fall a game and percentage outside the five if they can't beat the Lions this week. So it's a massive game. As you said, it's a huge game for the top three hopes of Deer Park too, but I think the Lions should be too good.
I agree with that one. And the game you mentioned before, Sunshine taking on St Albans. Do you think St Albans will win this one?
Yeah, big opportunity for them, Willow, just to cement their spot in there. Obviously, 4 points up on Hoppers if they do win, more than likely. And percentage as well. That's all obviously just if Hoppers do lose. So lots of little scenarios that could play out. So we'll have to wait and see what transpires on Saturday. But massive game for St Albans, and I think they'll be too good.
Yeah, agree there. And our match of the day on 88.9 Windham is going to be Werribee Districts taking on Spotswood. Massive game for both sides as well.
It is, and they've had a tendency to play some really good games of football. I think before this year, Werribee hadn't beaten Spotswood since 2015, and they got knocked out in the finals last year against them. A very sharp shooting Spotswood team last September, so it's a huge game for them. Spotswood looking to shore up their top three hopes and keep in touch with Altona, who are a game ahead of them. So I just like Spotty. I think they've been very consistent this year, Willow. They've played very well all year. They're a very tough team to beat, and they don't have too many superstars. They all contribute. Yeah, I'm on them.
You're on them? I'm on the Woodsman as well to win that one in our match of the day. And the final game is Albion taking on Caroline Springs.
Yeah, I think Caroline Springs will be too good here, Willow. Obviously, you get a glimpse last week as to the struggles, how deep they are at Albion, losing by a lot to Point Cook. So I think Caroline Springs too good, and just another chance to continue to grow their momentum in Division 1.
Yeah, agree. I think the Lakers win that one. That was Rams Division 1, now Division 2. North Footscray take on Yarraville Seddon.
Yeah, Yarraville Seddon should be too good here. North Footscray, obviously, in the night game last week, would have been bitterly cold down there at Shorten Reserve. Didn't get the job done against West Footscray, so they're still building for future years. But the Eagles, we know, still very much a chance of finishing on top. Not that it really matters, first or second. Doesn't make too much of a difference in Division 2, but they'll be hoping to finish as high as they can. Yeah,
Eagles comfortably in that one. And season on the line. As Newport travel to Point Cook Centrals, can the Power get the job done?
They can. Whether they will is another thing, Will. I'm just not sure they're consistent enough this year against the good teams. And I think Point Cook Centrals are certainly among those good teams. They're a strong outfit. They play well on their home deck. They're tough to beat on their home deck. Who knows? You just mentioned Newport. There's a lot to play for. So when it's kind of is do or die, they can come up with some good performances. So wouldn't surprise me if it's really close, but I just think the Sharks might have a little bit too much class at the end.
Yeah, great Sharks in that one. And Windham Vale take on West Footscray. The Falcons would be too good in this one.
Yeah, the Falcons, they were challenged by Newport last week, which, just going back to the previous game, does give Newport hope that they can challenge. It's just if they can get that fourth quarter going, because I think they conceded 9-0 in the last quarter or something like that. So not a good finish for Newport, but I think Windham Vale too good for West Footscray, no question.
Yeah, agree. Division 3, only the 3 games this weekend with Braybrook and Laverton having the bye. Auburn Vale be far too strong for North Sunshine.
Yeah, I think so, and they need to kick a little bit straighter than last week, Willow. 8-23. But I suppose there are a few misfiring teams last week with the wind that was so strong. So we'll give them a break there. But they should be too good for North Sunshine. Yeah.
Interesting game this one. Glen Auden taking on Tarneet. Tarneet coming off a loss last week to Sunshine Heights. If they can get the win over Glen Auden, they can consolidate their spot in fourth spot, leading into the finals, and make that job harder for Braybrook when they return to play in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so it's a big week for Tarneit. We know that with Braybrook not playing, there's a chance to go 6 points clear, but they obviously have to beat the Hawks. They were well beaten last time they played, so it's going to be a tough game for them. They've really been struggling a little bit. It was a funny game last week, our match of the day. Very, very close. Not a lot of goals kicked. Probably throw that out the window in terms of a review of a game, given this how difficult it was kicking into the wind. There were no scores kicked for 3.5 quarters to the Club Room Z at Wooden Road Reserve, and they got run over in the end. Sunshine Heights are playing great football, by the way. I just think the Hawks too good, which means that they're just going to be hanging by a thread, Tarneit, and hopefully they can get some players back from injuries, from holidays, etc., and make a charge into the finals, because we know when they've got their full complement of players, they're a good team.
Yeah, I think the Hawks will be too strong at home. And the final game of the round is Sunshine Heights taking on Windham Suns.
Yeah, well, Sunny Heights last week, courtesy of that win against Tarneit, pretty much shored up their top 4 spot, and certainly have proved themselves at the moment as the third best team in Division 3. I think if you put them one on top of the other, they're definitely third. Their ladder position is reflective of how well they've played all season. Their consistency's been tremendous. We know that in the past they've struggled away from home, and they're very good at home, but I think it proved last week on a bigger ground against a team that likes to run and spread in Tarneit that they have adapted to their game style to be a little bit more consistent across everywhere, which is going to be key in September, because you won't be playing all your games down at Glengala Road. Windham Suns have been better the past few weeks. There's no question, credit where credit's due. But I just think Sunny Heights, they don't want to limp into the season. The finals. Damien Farnfield mentioned that in our pre-match on the radio on Saturday. He knows now they've probably done enough to make the 4, but you don't want to just let that be it. So they'll be trying to keep their form up going into September, and I think they'll start with a win over the Suns.
I agree. Dragons to me. We picked all the same this week, Peppy.
We did.
All right.
We agree.
No, we don't. But that has been the complete high recruitment WRFL Round 14 preview. Good luck to your team this weekend.